A very pleasant morning, children. Hope you all are doing well. Children, in today's session, we'll learn about subject verb agreement and some very important rules for agreement of the verb with the subject. Just like personal pronouns, verbs also have three persons: the first, the second, and the third. So the verb should be of the same person as the subject. This is the most basic rule. If the subject is in the first person, then the verb must be in the first person. If it is in the second person, then the verb has to be in the second person. And if the subject is in the third person, then the verb must be in the third person. And the second most basic rule of subject verb agreement is that if the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. And if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. Like, my friend has come to see me. So over here, my friend is the subject, it is singular. So the verb is also singular, that is has. And he and his friends over here is the subject in the second example. So it is plural, therefore the verb is also plural, have arrived. So you should remember this thing, that a verb must agree with its subject in number and person. Some really important or general rules for agreement of the verb with the subject. There are various rules, and the very first one says that if two or more singular subjects joined by and take a plural verb, like gold and silver, these are two singular subjects which are joined by and. So they of course take a plural verb are, because in number they'll be counted as more than one. Similarly, in the second example, Anita and Sunita are going to the market. Again, two singular subjects Anita and Sunita joined by and take a plural verb are. But in the third and the fourth one, it is not the same, because in this, the two subjects which are joined by and refer to the same person, idea, or thing. Therefore, it uses the singular verb. Slow and steady wins the race, referring to the same idea. My friend and guide has come, referring to the same person. Therefore, in the third and the fourth example, though the two singular subjects are joined by and, but it takes a singular verb. Alright. Then, when the nouns or pronouns in a sentence are connected by or nor, then of course it takes a singular verb. Your brother or sister is sitting in the room. Neither the boy nor his friend has done much work. So if the nouns or pronouns, singular noun or pronoun, of course, singular subject like brother or sister, so it will take the singular verb. The boy nor his friend, taking the singular verb has done. Then if the sentence in a sentence, or the subject consists of either, neither, each, everyone, many, a, so all these must be followed by a singular verb, like either of these roads leads to the bus station. Neither of the two men was honest. Each of the boys was given a prize. Every one of the boys loves to play cricket. Many a man has done so. So again, in these sentences, if you will see, either they are beginning with either, neither, each, everyone, many, but it is followed by a singular verb, like leads in the first one, then was in the second one, again was in the third, loves in the fourth, and has in the last one. Now, very important, when two subjects are joined by, as well as, with, or along with, the verb agrees with the first subject. Alright, like the principal as well as teachers was present on that day. So as these two subjects are joined by as well as, one, the principal is the singular subject and teachers is the plural, but the verb will agree with the first subject, that is with the principal. So of course it is was present. But in the next sentence, the teachers as well as the principal were present on that date, because over here the subject, the first subject with which the verb would agree will be the teachers. So of course it is agreeing with the teachers over here. Alright, next very important rule is that if one of the nouns is singular and the other is plural, then the verb agrees with the subject which is placed near the verb. Alright, like neither the teacher nor the students were in the classroom. So it is referring to two different persons. So therefore it agrees with the subject which is placed nearer. Alright, okay. Manu or his brothers have done this. Again, it is referring to two different subjects over here. One is singular, the other is plural, so of course it will go with the nearest one. So therefore over here again it is used which kind of a verb? Plural verb. Then either he or I am wrong, either you or he is wrong. Again, in such sentences the verb will agree with the nearer one. When the subjects are joined by or nor are of different persons, then of course the verb agrees with the nearer one. So either he or I, so it will go with I am, and in the second one it will go with he. Alright, so remember in this that when of course the subjects are joined by or nor, but they are of different persons, then the verb agrees with the subject which is placed nearest to it. Alright, then a plural verb is used with nouns such as trousers, shears, scissors, tweezers. Why? Because though it is one in quantity, but of course, or singular in quantity, but they are found in two parts. Therefore, we use a plural verb with such nouns like scissors, trousers, tweezers, spectacles, shears, etc. Alright. Then a very important thing, when two nouns are qualified, or you can say that they are preceded by each or every, even though they are connected by and, it must be followed by a singular verb. Like every boy and every girl was given a packet of biscuits. So the subjects over here, boy and girl, it is preceded by every, right? So it always takes a singular verb. Similarly, in the next one you can see each night and each day reminds me of my friend. So when two nouns are preceded by each or every, then and connected by and, then they must be followed by a singular verb. The next rule says that some nouns which are plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb. Like the subjects mathematics, politics, economics, or news, they are plural in form but the meaning is singular, so therefore they take a singular verb. The news is true. Mathematics is an interesting subject. Then a plural noun which denotes some specific amount or quantity considered as a whole, okay, as one unit, then of course the verb which is used is generally singular. Like 50 kilometers is a long walk, 8,000 rupees is a large sum. Now, a very important point, when a plural noun comes between a singular subject and its verb, like one of the boys, one of his sisters, then of course it takes the singular verb. One of his sisters is very beautiful. None of with an uncountable noun takes a singular verb. None of the verb was done. But none of with a plural noun or pronoun or a collective noun can take either a singular or a plural verb. Like none of his family has or have been to college. So of course, if it is a plural noun, it will take this it can take, it can go both the ways. And you should know that in collective nouns, if it is considered as a whole, then of course it will take the singular form, that is the singular verb. None of his family has been to college. But if we are considering each individual of his family, then of course it will be taken as, it will take the plural verb, like none of his family have been to college. All right. Now again, the very rule that I have just now told you about the collective noun, that a collective noun may take a singular or a plural verb. It takes a singular verb if the group is thought of as a whole. Then of course it takes a singular verb, like the class was punished, the mob has dispersed. But if we consider the individuals of the group, or we think about the individuals of the group, then of course it takes a plural verb. Like in the next two sentences, the police are looking into the cause of the accident. Cattle were grazing in the field. Now, a lot of and plenty take a plural verb when they denote number. Like a lot of people were present. There are plenty of eggs in the basket. But they take a singular verb when they denote quantity or amount. Like a lot of water has been stored. There is plenty of time. Then a number of takes a plural verb. A number of books are missing from the library. Now, 1/3, 2/3, 1/5, 3/5, these are fractions, right? So if fractions represent any quantity, amount, area, time, etc., which cannot be counted, it takes a singular verb. Like 2/3 of the city was in darkness. It refers to the area, it cannot be counted, so it will take a singular verb. But if they represent number which can be counted, then of course a plural verb is used. Like in the second example, 1/5 of the people are illiterate. So of course they can be counted because it is, they represent number. So of course it takes a plural verb. Now in sentences which begin with here or there, the true subject or the real subject follows the verb. Like there is a high hurdle to jump, but there are 4 hurdles to jump. So it takes accordingly, the true subject follows the verb. So again, in the third one, here are the papers you requested. And the very last one, which is that when the plural noun is a proper name for some single object, it takes a singular verb. Like Jatak Tales is a book about Buddha's life. Gulliver's Travels was written by Jonathan Swift. So children, I conclude the session here. Go through the video again, revise it thoroughly. It's a very essential topic. Practice the exercises given in your book as well. But before that, revise the topic again by going through the video thoroughly. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.